Hey guys, so today I'm going to be making a DIY Lan Tap. This is designed to mimic Hack5's Lan Turtle, except it only costs $8 instead of $55. The parts you're going to need for this project are a cheap USB to Ethernet adapter, a Raspberry Pi Zero, and a micro SD card. Links to what you'll need will be in the description below. Alright, so the first step in this project is taking apart the USB to Ethernet adapter. Now, you don't always know how these things are going to be wired up, so it's always good practice to test out the pads with a multimeter. Put your multimeter on the continuity setting, test out which pad on the USB connector leads to what. On my unit, they were following best practice. It might be different for you. Now, let's desolder the USB to Ethernet adapter. You could use a desoldering pump, or you could just yank the wires out. Keep the wires on hand though. It's going to use those later to wire this up. Now it's time to start soldering. Pre-solder the pads, and get ready to start putting this thing together. The pinout looks like so. Pad PP1 on the Pi 0 is 5 volts, PP6 is ground, PP22 is data plus, and PP23 is data minus. This is the pinout from the back of my Ethernet adapter. Yours may be different, and I recommend you test the pads yourself. As you can see, I used scotch tape to hold the wires in place while I was soldering them. This is kind of a ghetto solution, so you might want to use a soldering helping hand if you have one on hand. We're finished assembling it, it's time to test it out. Plug the Ethernet jack into Ethernet, and the USB jack into power. Make sure you've inserted a micro SD card into the Pi so that it boots correctly. Fun fact. Inserting a file named SSH with no file extension into the boot partition of the Pi will enable SSH on boot, allowing you to connect to the device. Check your router's LAN page. Make sure that the device has been assigned an IP address. As you can see here, the device has been assigned an IP address and is recognized by the router. I can ping it, showing that it is alive and well on the network. That concludes this tutorial. Let me know what you thought of the video in the comments below. I'm not the first person to think of this, I'm looking at you, Satonic, but I figured I'd make it as a trial video anyways, as I also have a few payloads for this device in the making. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I also have a few other videos being made, which I hope to be released in the coming weeks, if my schedule allows for it.